Shalom, my little friends. Okay, so November 4th, they were drawing these sigils in the sky. They were doing this. Look at that. I mean, that's straight up some sigils. I don't care who you are, that's straight up something very peculiar going on there. And then you got these, and if you'll notice, here's your triangle and whatnot, all that other good stuff, okay? And then you go over here, and here's one real clear. I mean, these are all the same day in the sky, okay? Bam, here you are again. We've got these. Now, Richie from Boston is the one who directed me to this demonic sigil stuff. And it just so happened I had been reading that book, The God's Machine, that I've got, that talks about all the different monuments around the world, Stonehenge and all that, the pyramids with the Egyptians and the Hindus, and also connecting it to the crop circles. Well, in there, it talks about how I think it was the Mayans or the Aztecs, one of the two, it might have been the Aztecs, they had built a motorcycle and made pictures of a motorcycle and their false god flying. This flying device is what they called it. And the Egyptians had this as well. But this motorcycle, that's how we have the motorcycle layout, design that we have today that people ride. Okay, so let's just go over here. Now down here is demonic sigils. Okay, this is just regular sigils, and they're all the same stuff. Now this comes from the Lesser Keys of Solomon, and well, you see it is, but these are all demonic sigils. These all rise these giants, the disembodied spirits of the giants, and the fallen angels, I believe it 100%. Okay, well, the disembodied spirits of the giants, it's just so much still to go on here with the understanding of this stuff. Okay, so, but this morning, light language, it's called light language. This is exactly what they were drawing. See, I've been studying this stuff these past few weeks and praying a lot against these symbols. And please, right now, pause, stop, whatever you're doing, and pray against these symbols in the name of Yahushua Jesus, because they do vibrate, just like words that we read from the Bible. They vibrate inside our body, when we lay our eyes on these things. But this specifically, if you will look at this, right? Look at the design here with the triangle and the line through it. And then you go over here to this one. Oh, we got that one right there. And you got this, the loop, the line through it. It's the same stuff, man. It's the same stuff. Here's your triangle right there. Here's your loops. I mean, you got it all. Up here there was stuff going on where it was the same. It's the same stuff, okay? It's the same. Dude, there's no denying this. There's no denying that what they've been drawing in the sky is demonic sigils. There is no denying it. And light language and demonic sigils, I tried to look it up, the comparison of the two, and it didn't say, if they were the same or not. But my goodness, I mean, they're the same. It's the same thing, man. It's the same thing. It ain't, they say light language is the vibration of language that you radiate from your spirit. It's not really a sound that comes out. It's the color, the vibration that comes out of your spirit. That's what they say light language is, and that's what they say all this is. That is demons, demonic sigils, okay? This is what Solomon was into. But let's just go. You want to know how? Oh my goodness, praise Yahushua Jesus. Okay, well, let's just read this. Where did light language come from? Light language is an ancient teaching that was passed down from the shamans of Veracruz, Mexico, and rooted in the Mayan culture. They had the ability to decode the reality they grasped in their system into fragments of sacred geometry and colors and follow the structures of it. The same thing is what the Kabbalists do. The Kabbalists, the Hindus with their chakra system, it's all the same stuff. Most of it is very simple and easy to comprehend. We in modern society do it as well, yet we do not bring our awareness to it as much. Okay, I don't even know why I read that last bit. Okay, here, okay, so this is Pashupati, Pashupati. This is the incarnation of Shiva, and this is his. It's supposed to be 3 heads, but look, it's got the horns, and if you'll notice, it's got the rings on the arms. But look at the symbols. Look at the symbols in the corner there. Look at them. They're supposed to be some kind of nature animal or something. Look at these sigils. Look at them. They're all. This is the same stuff we were just looking at. Same stuff. Okay. They compare this Pashupati with Cernunnos. And well, Cernunnos is how Cern got its name. This horned false god, and apparently, and it's a deer. And we're going to get to that too. Oh, Yahushua, Jesus is so holy. He's so holy how he puts things together. Okay, let's stop right there. In Lamentations is the only spot that I have found that speaks against the deer. And it's very interesting because it's calling Jerusalem out. It's calling her out as a whore of what she's doing. She is whoring herself out. But let's see. Let's go to Lamentations 1, 3 through 7. Judah is gone into captivity because of affliction and because of great servitude. She dwelleth among the heathen. She findeth no rest. All her persecutors overtook her between the straits. The ways of Zion do mourn, because none come to the solemn feast. All her gates are desolate. Her priests sigh. Her virgins are afflicted, and she is in bitterness. Her adversaries are the chief. Her enemies prosper, for Yahuwah the Lord hath afflicted her for the multitude of her transgressions. Her children are gone into captivity before the enemy. And from the daughter of Zion all her beauty is departed. Her princes are become like harts, that's deer, that find no pasture, and they are gone without strength before the pursuer. Jerusalem remembered in the days of her affliction and of her miseries all her pleasant things that she had in the days of old, when her people fell into the hand of the enemy, and none did help her. The adversaries and none did help her. The adversaries saw her and did mock at her Shabbats. Jerusalem hath grievously sinned, therefore she is removed. All that honored her despise her, because they have seen her nakedness. Yea, she sigheth and turneth backward. Ooh, Yahuwah the Lord is very upset with Jerusalem and the things that Jerusalem has done. Now remember, Ezekiel 7 and 8 described to us that they have gone a whoring and they have used our Father's secret treasures, defiled his secret treasures. It's very important, Okay. Let's see. Heart in concordance is actually 354 for that concordance number there. It's Ayel, Ayyyal. And if you read the book of Enoch, Azazel and Ayel are both mentioned in the book of Enoch as fallen angels. But ram, stag, male deer. Now, ram. In the Egyptian culture, the ram is one of the horned false gods of the Egyptian culture. I can't remember his name, and it don't even matter. We don't even care. Right now, we're focusing on this right here. How did we get into Cernunnos? And it's interesting that he brings up. Let's go back to this for a second. Sorry, the heart that her princes are become like harts that find no pasture. And then he goes on and talks about the priests and how they languish. They're sad, they're mourning, and it's because they're getting no real vision. They're you see these Jews, they're wanting the Mashiach to come now, and they're asking questions. Why ain't he come now? Why can't we hurry this process up? And it's because they're not getting any vision. They're not getting anything. They're trying, but what they're getting is falseness. It's all falseness. And they can see it, Even though things have been planned out perfect, it is only planned out because our Father has given the authority for it. Yahusha, our Lord Jesus, is so almighty. Everything these wicked do, our Father knows exactly what they're doing. But let's just talk. The Higgs boson. You want to talk about something? You want to talk about something? Why is the deer so important? Why is the deer of interest? Look at this. Higgs boson was named after Peter Higgs. This is the Higgs family crest. You notice the deer? You notice the deer? It's in every one of theirs. You notice the arrow? Those arrows are everywhere. Those arrows are on pictures and children's shirts and people's shirts and posters and magazines and notepads. And I mean, those arrows are everywhere. But look, you got more deer. And look at that. You notice that? In the crest, it's 3 heads. Just like the 3-headed Pashupati or whatever its name is in the Hindu, which is Cernunnos, no matter what. It's the 3 heads. That there's no denying this. There's no denying the connection. Okay? So, here, more deer. More deer. The Higgs family. And more deer. Okay. So, got an understanding that Higgs, it's perfectly planned out. It's perfectly planned out. This is a picture out of the Freemason book that I have, the Freemason Dictionary. Odinic Mysteries is what it's called. And this is a picture of it. Now, if you'll notice that it's got the deer in the tree line. Well, this is an actual picture of the whole thing. And here's your deer up in the bushes and the leaves, standing on the limbs. But look over here in the corner. Look in the corner there. That looks almost AI, artificial intelligence. And look, it's got some kind of symbol in the middle of its forehead. And it's throwing fire. On the other side of the mountain, you have one that looks like artificial intelligence with something in the middle of its head. And it's throwing ice. We've been talking about it a lot on this channel. How these things operate, these fallen angels, I believe, operate the weather. So here we are. I mean, and this is an interesting picture. The Odinic Mysteries, apparently Odin is the father of Thor. And, oh, fixing to show some stuff. Now, praise Yahusha, not we, but Yahusha Jesus through us is going to show some stuff. Alright, where do we even go from here? So, how did I get into this? Well, the Church of Philadelphia. It says that he will make them of the synagogue of Satan. Philadelphia's animal is the deer, the white-tailed deer. Also, in Philadelphia, there is, where's it at? I was stunned when I seen this. A place of worship for Pashupatinath temple. It's in Philadelphia. When I looked up like a place for worship for Cernunnos in Philadelphia, I didn't get nothing, but I sure did. Something popped up for this Pashupatinia. That there's no coincidences. There's no coincidences. All this, it all matches up. All of it, every bit of it. Oh my goodness. So Philadelphia. Okay, so Philadelphia has the Motor Museum, which has got things of the giants. They've got things of the dwarfs. There's just very peculiar things there. Also in Philadelphia is a wonder of the Templar, a wonder of the Freemasons in Philadelphia, and one of the major wonders of Freemasonry. And it's got just a museum, a temple, of all the stuff that they worship and different rooms in it. And it's even got Tennessee marble. That's how anyway. So also in Philadelphia, they have France, a sister city in Philadelphia. Paris, France has a sister city in Philadelphia. This is no joke, this is no joke. Philadelphia is surrounded by this stuff. Surrounded. So here we have this weird artificial being, where did this come up at? How did I get to him? I ain't going back and doing this. Okay. I don't know how I got to him. There was a lot of stuff, but he's in Philadelphia. It's like a coin crate depicting ancient mythical Automaton with artificial intelligence. I don't know how you got in there. But anyway, we're not going to get into that. Okay. So Philadelphia had used to be the capital of the United States of America. It was for 10 years. They had a meeting in 1887, or not 1987, 1887, 1783. I was so off. I'm so sorry. They had a meeting. Pennsylvania forced to move the Congress. Okay, the Congress forced Pennsylvania to move the capital from Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, to somewhere else. Okay, but the meeting was for how America was going to be governed. All right, and this is in 1787. Oh, I don't want to retake this. I'm everywhere. It's cold. Praise Yahushua Jesus. Praise Yahushua Jesus. Okay. From 1790, when Philadelphia, to 1800, Philadelphia was the capital. The state and national legislature both meet in the building. Capital of the United States. Okay. In 1790, Newport, Rhode Island. Now look at this. It's a Hebrew congregation in Newport, Rhode Island. They sent a letter to George Washington, and they were commending George Washington. And you can stop this and look through it yourself. They gave a prayer out. These Hebrews gave a prayer out, for George Washington and all the good things that he was doing. But look what they call it, the great governmental machine. That's what they're calling America. Deeming everyone of whatever nation, tongue, or language equal parts of the great governmental machine. And he's talking about the United States of America. Go back and do it. Read your own stuff. Okay. So let's see. So, delegates represent every state. Rhode Island was not invited to this meeting in 1787. Okay, that's what was so significant about this. Rhode Island was not invited. Now, apparently, 17th century was an era of exploration, immigration, and invitation. For Jews persecuted and restricted in many countries, America seemed like a good place to settle. The town of Newport, Rhode Island, founded by Roger Williams, believer in religious... Oh, okay. So, they moved to Rhode Island, all right? The Jews moved to Rhode Island in the 17th century. Let's see... Federal Convention, Philadelphia, states except Rhode Island was responded. All right. Now, this building right here, the building was demolished in 1990 because February 23rd of 91, the fire began on the 22nd floor. Now look at this. Jerusalem, Israel, 2 chief rabbis on Monday blessed troops. Now this is February 25th, 1991. This was February 23rd, 1991 when they demolished this building. I totally believe in the building of buildings and the breaking down of them. Now this is in Philadelphia. Okay, so 2 Israel troops were blessed on Monday by some rabbis. on February 25th of 91. They had some orange juice together. They gave them a beautiful prayer. But it says, as we look at the soldiers, we have just cause and the blessing of the Lord prevail. Hebner also described his men as part of history being made here in Israel. The troops of 1st American soldiers fight in Israel in defense of the Jewish state. Okay. 43 days of war in 91. Alright. Oh, these things are so significant. So, yep, you got the president. The great showdown has begun. The mother of all battles is underway. Iraqi Scud missiles strike Israel. First anti-missile missile fired in combat. Alright, so here we're at the right date, okay? This is a day before they decided to bust this building down. A few days before. Tell nations the liberation of Kuwait has entered the final phase. Bush authorizes Commander Norman Schwab, whatever, to use all forces available, including ground forces, to expel the Iraqi army from Kuwait. U.S. officials say Iraqi soldiers are rounding up Kuwaits to torture, execute. At least 200 oil wells and facilities are ablaze in Kuwait. Alright, on the 24th. That whatever his name is, General Norman, whatever, hails first day of Allied grounds offense and dramatic success. Dramatic success. The 24th, this is what, the day before the building? Oh, no, the day after. So the day of, they're ready to go in. They fixing to expel. They're fixing to bust down. The day after, there was capture. There was success. Okay, Saddam Hussein urges troops to kill with your might. In radio speech, more than 300 attack and supply helicopters strike more than 50 miles into Iraq. Largest such assault in military history. Queen Elizabeth II, his first wartime broadcast, 39-year reign, tells her country she has prayed for victory. Iraq fires 2 Squad missiles into Israel. So we see that, and I believe this, I see it. I see what's going on, on the 22nd, said avoid ground war, Iraqi information official brands U.S. position, shameful ultimatum, 8-point withdrawal plan, Soviet Union announces 8-point withdrawal plan, Iraq sets ablaze 1/6 of Kuwait's 950 oil wells, and then on the 23rd, Allies ground offense begins. Defense Secretary Dick Cheney halts news briefings on war. President Bush tells nation the liberation of Kuwait has entered the final phase. Okay, so I've already read all that. All right, so I'm just showing you that as this building in Pennsylvania is being burned down, in Philadelphia is being burned down, there's a war going on with Iraq. And there was some history made with some soldiers and some prayer from the rabbis from wherever. Okay. It's unbelievable. Okay, so we got Paris and Philadelphia. So many connections with Philadelphia. What's Philadelphia famous for? The Liberty Bell. That bell comes from Lingam, the Shiva Lingam, the bells. She's all about her bells, those bells. She, he, it, whatever it is. Formerly known as the city, Philadelphia is the largest city in the state of Pennsylvania, called the brotherly love. And yes, it is. The name Philadelphia means brotherly love, but this state, I believe, has been set up as deception, straight up. How did we get to him? I don't know. But he's got to have something to do with Philadelphia. I'm absolutely sure. Masonic Temple in Philadelphia, the biggest one, or the magnificent building. So much of Masonry in America has its roots in Philadelphia. Philadelphia. Star of David opens location center city. There is a restaurant in Philadelphia called the Star of David, and they opened another one somewhere else. They got two in Philadelphia called the Star of David. And if you will go into the book of Revelation, chapter 3, he talks about the church of Philadelphia, and the first thing he says, he who holds the Star of David, who opens and no man shuts, and shuts and no man opens. He's talking about Jesus, Yahushua, hallelujah. So here's your Star of David grill. The Pennsylvania symbol, we've got white-tailed deer. Straight up, there it is. Here's your deer. The American flag was made in Philadelphia. And here is our Mason stuff. Okay, and then ancient wisdom, centuries past, Odin, who had been a wise and beneficial ruler, synonymous, don't believe with some of this stuff. He is the false all-father, the false supreme god. Also, as so often happens when a new religion is introduced, previous false gods were included. Thus, Thor, the thunder false god of Scandinavia, became son of Odin. Okay, Odin. Now, look at this. Powerful art. This is new. Look, October 6th, 2019. This is a new program called Odin. This ain't no joke. This ain't no joke, man. This deer and the horns and the antlers, it has so much to do with this technology of artificial intelligence. It does. Okay, the ability to leverage full benefits of powerful artificial intelligence, including advanced machine learning capabilities, is increasingly, introduced Odin's Dofm's powerful AI. Almost looks like Adolf. Anyway, Odin, powerful AI, embodies a wide range of advanced capabilities. Okay, and we've already looked at this. Here is Odin. And you've got the Freemasons, Odin, whatever thing, with the moon upside down. Oh, with the moon, the half moon, that's false all the way, straight up. And the Hindus as well. Look, and then here you got Thor, Odin's son, and they got AI too. Thor, it's some kind of new, it's been around for a few years, it looks like. 3D environmental visual AI. It's crap. I'm telling you, all this stuff matches and goes together. To detect the Higgs, United States began to build a giant atom smasher beneath Texas. And that was true. They did begin to build it beneath Texas, and they were turned down for some odd reason. The vast European laboratory Alps. Let's see. The Nobel is rich. Higgs, college perhaps black. Okay, physicists contribute to the Higgs boson dies. Alright, I don't know why I did that. The extensive imagination of myths and legends, animals that for one reason or another carry symbolic characteristics. The lion, the eagle, the snake are some examples. In some way, deer is a symbol of many things, personification of virtues and a character of legends and myths. The deer's antlers are one of the characteristics that have made the figure of a spiritual superiority, according to some. Like a crown, the antlers go beyond the body, bringing it closer to the sky, making it sacred. Let's see, y'all can go in and read all this. I am not going to do that. I went way farther than I thought I would on this, but praise Yahushua Jesus. But there was like one, and I think it's in this one, that was talking about that the Cernunnos wrote the language of the gods, the false gods. But I just don't see it. I don't see it. Maybe y'all can stop it and like look through this stuff. I'm going to go real quick through this, because I did a lot of research on Cernunnos and how he's connected to this false god. He is the false god. It is Shiva, and the false god that runs and rules that large hadron collider. Straight up. Okay. And these sigils that they're drawing in the sky, they are, these buildings that they burn down, they are part of this worship. They are calling this thing out, this false god. Oh, look, Israel's got a new, Israel Elite Intelligence has a new program called Black Cube. Ain't that interesting? Okay. Now, one last thing before we go. Went over time, but praise Yahushua Jesus. I might get cut off soon, you know, from our things. I gotta do this quickly. Let's see, screenshots. No, no. Demonic sigils. This one's gonna trip y'all out. You know what? I'm gonna do another one on this. I am. That way, just I'm gonna go ahead and stop this one. Praise Yahushua. Well, I thank y'all so much for listening, and have a blessed day in the name of Yahushua Jesus.